charge last night in the ninth, but they came up a run short in their comeback and dropped the opener at Kauffman Stadium. So tonight, the Twins will try to get one back in Kansas City against the Royals. Good evening again from Kauffman Stadium. I'm Marnie Gellner. This was about the time last season when the Twins really caught fire. They made that second half push, and they're going to need to do something like that again if they want to catch Cleveland in the American League Central. Well, several different players were responsible for that push last season. One of them was Jorge Polanco, and right now you can see how Jorge is starting to settle in here. He's had a hit in each of his last 7 games, including 3 doubles and a triple. Polanco has also scored 6 runs during his 7-game hitting streak. And he's played some solid defense, too. Last night, he snagged that ball right out of the air and made a great play at short. Today, Paul Molitor said Polanco can be a difference maker for this team.
Yeah, there's a lot of value in what the things that he can do and that he can bring to the table. I think his shortstop play continues to get better. You need those guys in the lineup who are going to work each at bat. They're going to make the guy throw pitches. They're going to fight with 2 strikes. They know the strike zone, and I think he's going to end up being in the long run a guy who really has the ability to get a clutch hit when you need it.
And Molitor also said, no question, there has been a definite adjustment period for Polanco, and that it's taken him a little bit of time and may still take him more time to get completely settled in, but that the Twins are pretty happy with the quality of at-bats Polanco has given them to this point. Tonight, Polanco is back in at shortstop. Lance Lynn is on the hill for Minnesota. Can he continue to turn things around? Dick and Roy will look at that coming up next.
By CenturyLink, connecting you to the power of the digital world. By Sanford Orthopedics and Sports Medicine, for the everyday competitor in all of us. And by Northland Ford. Visit buyfordnow.com and your local Northland Ford dealer today. We're back at Kauffman Stadium, Game 2 between the Twins and the Kansas City Royals. It might seem odd for some fans to see Eduardo Escobar hitting in the middle of the Twins lineup, but there's a good reason for that. He has swung the bat like a middle of the lineup hitter with a lot of extra base hits and a very high slugging percentage. He's in the lineup again tonight for Game 2. And we welcome you to Kansas City. Dick Bramer, Roy Smalley for Game 2, and the Twins do need to get back in the win column, and they expect Lance Lynn to lead them there.
Lance Lynn has pitched very, very well last month and a half or two after a very slow start, and it's very, very easy to see why he's done it. He's throwing strikes and not walking people. At the beginning of the season, he was either walking guys or pitching to everybody 2-0 and 3-1. You cannot live in the big leagues that way, but he has got big league stuff. He's had it for a long time, and now he's throwing that stuff over early and often. The fastball is lively. It moves all around the strike zone, and he has been very, very good. We'll watch and see tonight if he can keep that fastball command going.
The Royals, of course, a team in transition, one of the transitions living life playing baseball without Eric Hosmer. In the offseason, they signed Lucas Duda, who had one of his better nights as a Royal last night.
Yeah, he actually got beat on a couple of bats and got a couple of doink hits, which was unfortunate. But you see one right here. Gibson makes a really good pitch. Eduardo Escobar in the shift got turned around, couldn't make that. Now he gets beat by another pitch, but beats the shift again. This one, he just flat beat. That's what Lucas Duda can do. It's why they have him here. He can hit the ball a long ways when he gets the big end of the bat out there. Pretty good find right now for the Royals team that's looking for somebody to provide some offense.
Twins, of course, have been missing Miguel Sano most of this year, Byron Buxton for most of this year. But in Buxton's absence, the Twins are running out Jake Cave, who's made quite an impression both in the field and at the plate. Marty Gellner will have his story when we come back.
City baseball and barbecue. Twins and Royals are getting set for Game 2 of this 3-game series. That is one messy barbecue sandwich. Holy cow. Don't forget the fries. Don't forget the pickles. Put it all together. Put it on your plate. Come and watch the Twins. There it is. There's the meal. Come and watch the Twins and the Royals Game 2 of a weekend series here at Kauffman Stadium. Been a bit of a rough season for the Twins in terms of injuries. Different guys at different times have had to miss some time. And in the case of Byron Buxton, it's been multiple reasons that he has landed on the disabled list. In our Sanford Health injury report, Buxton's been on the DL for AAA Rochester since July 14th with a hand injury. It happened on a swing, and the x-rays are negative, but Paul Molitor said yesterday that Buxton had not swung a bat yet since going on that DL. Add that to the migraine issue and the fracture in the toe, and it's just been a frustrating season for Buxton. In his absence, Jake Cave has played a decent amount of center field, and Cave has done a nice job of filling what is a pretty big void. Still a bit of a small sample size for Cave at the plate. 27 games played, but it's a .312 batting average with 3 homers and 12 RBI. And he's not Byron Buxton defensively, but Cave has shown that he has some great range and some great athleticism in center field. And Paul Molitor said that he really feels comfortable with Cave in center field, just in knowing that the defense is very stable, that Cave is a very capable center fielder, and that the Twins are in pretty good hands when he is out there. Cave will be out there again tonight for the Twins. It'll be Lance Lynn on the hill for Minnesota and Jake Junis for the Royals. We'll have the first pitch from Kansas City Baseball Barbecue coming up next.
Beautiful Saturday night for baseball in Kansas City, and the Twins need to get back in the win column. Even this series a game apiece. They've only beaten the Royals 3 times in the 7 matchups they've had so far this year, and they desperately need to have a winning road trip here. Try to stay within shouting distance of the Cleveland Indians, who won last night. Paul Molitor hoping that the Twins were simply shut down by Danny Duffy again last night, and that the lineup can get back into scoring early and often as they did during the homestand. And the Menards batting order for the Twins in game 2. A little bit of a change from last night with the right-handed starting pitcher going for Kansas City. It'll be Mauer, Rosario, and Dozier. Escobar, Polanco, Kepler, Grossman, Jake Cave in the lineup, and Bobby Wilson catching again tonight.
And the home furniture pitching starting pitcher on the mound for the Royals, Jacob Junis, just back from the disabled list. See his stats there. Started the year very strong. All of a sudden, the bottom kind of fell out of him, and then he got hurt. So he's going to try to have a good second half.
The injury was to his lower back, and so they're going to hopefully get 70-75 pitches out of him here tonight. Alex Gordon's in left, Rosel Herrera in center, Jorge Bonifacio in right on the Northland Ford defense. Moustakas, Escobar, Merrifield, and Duda the infielders, and the Iron Man, Salvador Perez, behind the plate. The Royals have had just a terrible, terrible season, and they've been particularly bad at home. The Royals are just 12-35 at home. And they have beaten the Twins 3 times here at Kauffman Stadium already this year. Joe Mauer to get things started against Jacob Junis. Up and away, ball 1. Mauer, Rosario, and Dozier. Junis hoping to end a personal 7-start losing streak. That's to left and hit well to the gap. Gordon chasing it. That ball is off the wall on one hop. And with that double, Joe Mauer becomes the most prolific doubles hitter in Twins history. He was tied with Kirby Puckett. Mauer now has hit more doubles than anybody else in Twins history.
That's just a wonderful milestone and accomplishment from Joe, and shocked everybody, including this guy in the booth, to take ball 1 and then swing at the first strike he sees.
Well, I thought you said and hit it to the opposite field.
No. That obviously is no shot. I was being serious. I was shocked.
So it's a leadoff double for Mauer, and now Eddie Rosario.
In a good way. I'm glad to see Joe hit early in the count.
Rosario, a couple of hits, 8 at bats, but 4 strikeouts against Junis so far. Up and away, ball 1.
Biggest problem with Junis when in his swoon of 7 straight losses in those 7 starts, it was command, as it is with almost every pitcher that there is, and at whatever level. See what kind of command he can muster here after being on the disabled list.
Stroke to right center, a base hit. Mauer around third. And the Twins take a quick 1-0 lead with a couple of solid hits against Junis. 4 pitches into the game, and the Twins have a 1-0 lead.
Well, we know that guy's not going to wait it too long. If the ball, if he can reach it, he's going to swing at it. And he gets a ball in the middle of the zone here and does what he does. You get a ball in the middle of that box that we're looking at, and he's going to have a pretty good swing at it.
Rosario at first, having driven in his 62nd run, and here's Brian Dozier. And Rosario scampers back. 24 home runs allowed by Junis in 101 2/3 innings. That's a lot of home runs. Right back to the mound. And 1-4-3, a double play, 2 down. It's the 2nd time in this series already we've seen Brian hit it right off the very end of the bat back to the pitcher. Two down, base is empty, and now Eduardo Escobar. Escobar got a double last night, leading both leagues by plenty. Yeah, it's almost more of a story when he doesn't get a double. And Escobar takes one off the plate, ball 1. Dozier going after the first pitch. Everybody else has watched a pitch and then hammered the next one. Strike on the outside corner, 1-1.
So you see the fastball there at 94 miles an hour. His best pitch is a slider. He's got a very good breaking ball. Slider goes down and into left-hand hitters, away from right-handers. 2-1. So with a 94 mile an hour fastball and kind of a wipeout slider, you can see 39% of the time he's throwing that slider, and he gets a lot of swings and misses, a lot of outs on it. Should be good enough stuff, but there's that slider. It's all about command. It's all about pitching ahead of hitters and locating the ball most times where you want to throw it, and that's been a problem for Junis. It's not a stuff problem.
2-2 to Escobar and a bouncer foul. Last year kind of broke through, if you will. Called up from Omaha, middle of the season. Made 16 starts, 4 relief appearances, 9-3 with an ERA of 4.3. See the home runs allowed this year, leading the major leagues. And just outside, and the entire Royal infield was gliding ever so slightly toward the dugout. They thought they had strike 3. Full count. Fouled away. Said in the pregame show that Escobar, to the surprise of many, has been hitting cleanup for the Twins, but then you look at all the extra base hits and you understand why. And Escobar takes a rare walk to extend the inning, and that'll bring up Polanco.
And it's not only the extra base hits, which is a middle of the lineup, third, fourth, fifth kind of stat that you want to see, but also the big runs that he's driven in. He's shown an ability to, whether it's with an extra base hit or a single, have good at bats in big situations to drive in runs, and that's what you want to see from your fourth hitter.
And now here is Polanco hitting 5th. Strike over the inside corner.
Paul Molitor saying before the game about Jorge Polanco, that his at-bats, though a relatively small sample size, they are getting better and better, more and more quality at-bats, and he thinks that Jorge's about to break through here.
Particularly from the right side. He's doing fine from the left side, but he's really struggling from the other side of the plate. And one of his,
it happens.
Yeah, well, and we've talked about that before over the years,
yes,
you and I, and how sometimes as hot as you are on one side, you're as cold from the other side. Swung on and missed. 0-2.
You see that quick little slider breaking down and in underneath the swing of Polanco, and that's, as we said, that's Junas's bread and butter pitch. He's also given up a lot of home runs on that slider, which means trouble locating it all the time. You throw it in the middle of the plate, it can get hit a long ways.
2 strikes to the Twins shortstop. Very high. Last year, Polanco against left-handers hitting right-handed, he hit 248. And against right-handers hitting left-handed, he hit 260. And that's ideal to have.
That's pretty close.
As a switch hitter, that's about as even a split as you're going to get.
I'd like to know what his splits were in the second half of the season when he got it really rolling and became the Twins' third hitter.
Well, you tend to forget that, don't you? He was hitting third in a really good lineup last year.
In a really good lineup and getting huge hits. He went through that one streak where he was awful. I mean, really struggling. And like he couldn't buy a hit for a month. And then came out of that and became one of the better hitters in the Twins lineup. And Paul ultimately had him hitting third, and he deserved it. He hit like a third hitter for the second half of the season, both sides of the plate.
1-2. And there's a strike called on the outside corner. The inning starts with a Mauer record-setting double. The Twins get a first-inning run. And the Menards batting order for the Royals. Whit Merrifield leading things off for Ned Yost, then Jorge Bonifacio, Mike Moustakas, Salvador Perez, Lucas Duda, Hunter Dozier, Alex Gordon, Rosel Herrera, and Alcides Escobar.
The home furniture starting pitcher for the Twins tonight, Lance Lynn. You look at his season numbers, it's a tale of two halves of the first half of the season. First quarter of the season, he was having his spring training, getting started late. Really pitched well into the All-Star break, his last 5, 6, 7 starts.
His last start 10 days ago against the Royals, he picked up the win at Target Field. There's a strike at the knees. Merrifield continuously keeping his batting average over 300. And lifted foul, 2 strikes. And for Lynn, his last 4 starts, he's only walked 9, but part of the issue is the number of innings pitched. He's only pitched 17 2/3 innings in his last 4 starts, and that's been an issue too. Averaging just barely over 5 innings per start. Foul back.
Well, the pitch count just climbs, and he has cut down on the walks considerably, as you mentioned, but having trouble not pitching 2-2 and 3-2 to everybody.
0-2 to Merrifield. And another foul. Had a really good June, pitched to an ERA of 2.83. But his July ERA won't ever recover from his first start of the month at Wrigley Field. An inning and 2/3, 7 earned runs. Has 2 wins since then against the Orioles and the Royals. Another 0-2. Wilson with the block.
The Pizza Ranch for the win for the Twins tonight. To win, Lance Lynn, throw strikes, punish these guys. They're struggling to, the Royals are struggling to find offense. Don't let them hit 2-0 and 3-1. Don't give them any free passes. I know that's a tall order for Lance Lynn or anybody, and we say that about every pitcher, but in this instance, for tonight's win for Pizza Ranch, that's the ticket.
And there's strike 3. So Lynn strikes out Merrifield, first out of the ball game, and that'll bring up Bonifacio. Northland Ford defense for the Twins. Jake Cave anchoring the outfield in center. Kepler in right, Rosario in left. An infield of Escobar, Polanco, Dozier, and Mauer. And Bobby Wilson not only is starting to hit a little bit, but he continues to give the Twins great defense behind the plate and great game calling.
You bet. Great game calling, great rapport with his pitcher, whoever it is that given day.
Swung on and missed by Bonifacio.
Good example there of how Lance Lynn is a fastball pitcher and gets away with that. He throws a lot of fastballs. When he's good, the ball moves all over the strike zone. They never feel like he never quite knows where it's going to be.
Foul back.
Not a lot of guys can just throw 92, 93, 94 and throw a great majority of fastballs. You see the breakdown of his pitch arsenal. He's just a fastball pitcher. He's got a lively moving fastball, and when he throws strikes, he's effective.
First time through the order, that fastball percentage might be as high as 95% sometimes.
Yep, you bet. You're right.
One and 2 to Bonifacio. And now 2-2. Lynn has beaten the Royals twice here in Kansas City back at the end of May, and then at Target Field right before the All-Star break. And now 3-2. When Lynn beat the Royals, he did go 5 innings for the win, but he threw 114 pitches in 5 innings.
Yeah, we're seeing an example of it here. The first 2 hitters, 3-2.
Fouled away.
We talk about wipeout breaking balls. Different guys have curve balls. Jose Barrios on this club, the best example of a wipeout strikeout pitch. Kyle Gibson has developed a put-away pitch with that breaking ball on the one corner of the plate he's so good at. And Lance Lynn really doesn't have a put-away pitch per se.
A foul ball.
So you see a lot of this. You see a lot of, as a young man makes a terrific over-the-shoulder backhanded catch of that fly ball. I love to see kids bring their gloves to the.
Yeah, I do too. And then I really like what I saw too. The kid caught it. He's maybe 8 years old. And he gave it to a 6-year-old who wasn't even sitting with him. Full count. And off the plate, we've had a strikeout. Now we've had a walk, and that'll bring up Moustakas.
So I was just saying that there's a good example. Lance Lynn will get a lot of foul balls because hitters know that he throws a lot of fastballs. He doesn't have a put-away breaking ball, and so there's going to be a lot of fastballs that are fouled off with 2 strikes. And watch this play that this young man makes. Over his head, backhand. There's nothing to this game. Right. I don't need this ball. I do this all the time here.
But look at that. And he gives it to a younger kid.
Well,
in a Twins cap. Look at that.
That's the way
and
they
you
are.
Wonder why we like coming to Kansas City.
That's the way they are. The people in Kansas City here are. That's emblematic.
Here's Moustakas, and there's ball 1. Moustakas, in all likelihood, not long for his stay in Kansas City, with the trading deadline coming up in 10 days. On the ground, Polanco backhands to Dozier and safe at first. And everybody in the Twins dugout saying, hold on just a second, that might have been a heck of a double play. Polanco fielded it on his backhand side, and then he had a backflip to Dozier for the out at second base.
Well, he makes a wonderful play there. It was a tough little short hop for the backhand side.
I don't think the Twins will challenge in the first inning.
It looked like Moustakas might have just beaten it.
Nice play by Polanco, 2 down, and now Salvador Perez.
Very nice little soft hands backhand by Polanco.
When Lynn faced the Royals 10 days ago at Target Field, Salvador Perez hit a 3-run home run in the first inning. And Perez ended up getting a big 2-run double in the ballgame last night. There's a strike on the outside corner. Perez feigning disgust, and then of course the trademark smile.
I love watching this big man play the game of baseball.
If you're going to have an all-smile team in the major leagues, you'd have Perez behind the plate. You'd have Lindor at
short for sure.
Two strikes to Perez. Off the plate. Lynn trying to pitch around a walk, his 56th of the year. That put him into a tie with Danny Duffy for second in the American League. Those two guys, Duffy and Lynn, and everybody else behind Lucas Giolito, who's walked 60 men for the White Sox. 1 and 2. Now 2 and 2.
You can see everything away, 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 but trying to get him out with the breaking ball, that slider. They know that Perez is trying to pull the ball. That's his game plan. Get the whole plate covered, try to hook it to left field.
Driven to right and hit well. Kepler runs out of room, and Perez does it to Lynn again. This time a 2-run shot.
And just when I said he was trying to hook the ball to the left, he gets a fastball up and out over the plate and drills it to right field. This is great 2-strike hitting by Salvador Perez. They were trying to stay away from him, but preferably not up, and the ball got up. See the target down low there. And the last one up and out over the plate, out of the strike zone, 96 miles an hour. That's just That's a tip your hat to the hitter right there. That's not Perez's normal game plan, nor is it an easy pitch to hit. Talented, strong man.
2-1 Kansas City, and now Lucas Duda. And ball one.
We saw an example there, though, just the inability to put the hitter away after he got 2 strikes. He kept trying to hit that outside corner with the slider and couldn't do it, and then ultimately had to come back with a fastball to a fastball hitter.
And now 1-1 with an off-speed pitch. Duda has seen a lot of Lynn, and Lynn has dominated the matchups. Duda just 1 for 17 against Lance Lynn. And that is Brian Dozier. Makes the play to Mauer. The inning ends, but the walk followed by the home run, and the Royals have a 2-1 lead.
Here's your scoop from the clubhouse. Logan Morrison took regular batting practice today and took ground balls on the field and is expected to be activated from the disabled list tomorrow. Irvin Santana, in his start yesterday from Rochester, Paul Molitor pointed out the velocity was down, but the command was a big highlight. Strike throwing, getting the ball where he wanted it consistently. Molitor said the Twins were really pleased with the command from Santana. And Monday's starter for the Twins will be Adalberto Mejia in Toronto. And Molitor said that, you know, in that last start for Mejia, that was in Chicago against the Cubs, and that it was a really tough day to gauge someone, especially to gauge a starting pitcher who hasn't had a lot of experience, especially this season, because of all that heat. But Mejia will be the guy, Dick and Roy, on Monday to start that series against the Blue Jays.
All right, the Twins have rotated a lot of different people through that 5th spot. Fernando Romero, and then eventually the hope is that Irvin Santana will fill a spot in the rotation, and whether someone is taken out or whether the Twins will go with Irvin and the 4 that have been in there all year long remains to be seen. Kepler taps it up the right side, weakly to first. Duda to the bag, and Kepler's retired, 1 away. And that'll bring up Robbie Grossman, the designated hitter. Twins lost a game here in Kansas City. They also lost a game in the standings. Indians had a late lead with 2 outs. Cody Allen gave up a pair of home runs to the Rangers to tie the game, and then in the 10th inning, the Rangers had the bases loaded and nobody out and didn't score. Then the Indians won it in the 11th. Ball 1 to Grossman. So it's an 8.5 game lead now for Cleveland. Grossman's average climbing up to 259. Another tapper. This is going to be a tough play. And Merrifield makes a fine play. A flip to first to get Grossman, 2 down. Well, the Twins' first 2 swings produced very solid contact, and no solid contact ever since.
Merrifield's had himself a very nice season, at least through the first, let's call it 2/3 or almost. He's hit .307 and playing some nice second base. I think the Royals feel like with Escobar and Merrifield, they're pretty good at short and second, and they've got to find the other pieces.
Here's Cave, 2 quick outs, nobody on. And Cave takes a strike. Cave typically now getting the starts in the outfield, center field, when there's a right-handed pitcher on the mound. 1-1.
Looks like he's a big league hitter against right-handed pitching for sure. He's kind of a typical left-hand hitter, and then he likes the ball down. The challenge for Jake will be to lay off the high fastball.
3 hits, 14 at bats against lefties, but hitting .333 against righties.
Yep. Look at how well he's hit the last 11 games, and you can think back to his hits, all of them down in the zone, up there. That's what he needs to do. Just take that pitch till he gets to 2 strikes. That's a no-win for a lot of left-hand hitters. I think Jake's one of them. They force you to swing at it with 2 strikes, then you have to, but he wants the ball down.
Swung on and missed an off-speed pitch. Junis has retired 4 men in a row. Season ticket holder family today get the best seats at the best price, as well as instantly enrolled in our Sweet Spot benefits and rewards program. Benefits include a 10% discount on food, beverage, and merchandise, early entry on select dates to watch Twins batting practice, and much more. Visit twinsbaseball.com/season tickets to learn more. Hunter Dozier to lead off the second against Lance Lynn. And 1 strike. Dozier, Gordon, and Herrera here in the Kansas City second inning. One and one. Lynn's longest starts this year have gone 6 2/3 innings, and he's done that twice. Swung on and missed, 1-2. And a strikeout for the first out of the second inning. Dozier is retired, and now Alex Gordon.
Threw that one right where the catcher wanted it. They wanted to go upstairs with 2 strikes above the swing of that sweeping swing of Dozier's, and he threw it in the perfect spot.
Alex Gordon, 9 hits, 17 at bats against Lynn. Outside ball 1. Royals are 40 games below 500. 28 and 68. 2-0.
Well, need we recite the number of players from their World Championship roster that are no longer here? Very, very short period of time, just have exited.
Fly ball to left, hit right at Rosario. Gordon, one of those players. He is out number 2. And you've got Moustakas and Escobar.
I think about the players that are gone. You start on the mound with
Shields,
Ventura, tragically, Volquez, Chris Young,
Cueto.
Those guys are all gone. Then you've got Holland and Madsen and Davis, Herrera. They're all gone. No Hosmer, no Kane. It's not surprising.
Strike 1 to Rosell Herrera, picked up on waivers about a month and a half ago. 1-1.
There's the next one to go, very likely on the right. Moustakas, those 2 guys, the mainstays from the World Series championship and 2 pennant winning teams, Perez and Moustakas.
2-1 to Herrera. 3-1, Escobar on deck. The Royals are trying to reassemble a cluster of young players in their minor leagues that they hope will in the end be comparable to Hosmer and Moustakas and Kane and that group that went to the World Series in back-to-back years, strike on the outside corner. And it's a formula that worked for them. They almost won the World Series, would have in 14 if not for Madison Bumgarner, and then they won it all in 2015. The problem with that is when you have a group of young players all going through the system at the same time. Dozier with a nice stop going to his left, throws to first, got him. Good play by Brian Dozier to wrap up the second inning. And Lynn sets the Royals down 1-2-3.
and the Yankees in the Bronx for the Subway Series. Aaron Judge went 3 for 4 with this home run, which was his 26th of the season. The Yankees win it 7-6, and Sonny Gray got his first home win since May 5th. Dick and Roy.
Yeah, good for Sonny Gray. He was starting to hear it from the Yankee faithful and the unfaithful. 1 strike to Bobby Wilson.
Those are the same person.
Depending on the inning, right? And you know that from experience.
I do.
Then the Mets traded Juris Familia to the A's later in the day. So the A's beefing up their bullpen for what they hope will be a run at the Mariners, if not the Astros. 1-2 to Bobby Wilson starting the 3rd inning. And tap foul. Junis with 5 wins. We told you about the 7 straight losses. And this is yet another way of describing what a terrible year it's been for the Royals on the field. Junis has 5 wins. The starting staff has only 16. All year long so far. Everybody. And Junis hoping to pick up win number 6 here tonight.
Well, 16 out of 40. How many wins?
Well, they've only got 28 as a
28.
team.
16 wins by the starters out of 28.
But prior to tonight, they've started 96 ball games and they have just 16 wins. One and 2 to Wilson. Little roller off the end of the bat, and Escobar has plenty of time to scoop and fire one away. 5 in a row set down now. And again, the point I made last inning, first 2 swings by Twins hitters Mauer and Rosario were line drives, 1 for a double, 1 for a single, and there's been nothing but extremely soft contact ever since. Mauer with a double and a run scored, and since coming off the disabled list, first 3 weeks weren't so good, and the last week and a half has been very good. Look at the on-base percentage, .438, with a really good slugging percentage too. Strike at the knees, 0-1. One and 1. And now 2 and 1.
First changeup, or one of the very few that we've seen Junis throw. Fastball, real good slider, developing changeup.
And he bends a breaking ball in the outside corner, 2 and 2.
That's a neat little breaking ball. It's not your classic slider that you see that is hard and more right to left. He's got a little bit of curveball trajectory to it.
Another breaking ball tap foul.
It's a little bit different pitch. Hitters are going to have to get used to. It's not the classic slider by any means. It's a good pitch as long as he keeps it down.
And another hit for Mauer. Great at bat again. Got a fastball away and grounded it sharply into left field for a 1-out single. Twins fans, if you can't catch the games on TV, you can stream them live on your mobile device with Fox Sports Go, presented by Coors Light. Download the app, take Fox Sports North and Twins baseball wherever you go. Here's Rosario, lined an RBI single to right, his first time up. Foul. There are fixtures in the lineup that are performing very well right now in the hopes that other hitters will fill in. Maybe some hitters will get here from Rochester eventually and contribute. Mauer and Rosario are the least of the Twins' concerns. Escobar has seen his batting average flatten down into the 270 range, but he's still productive. Dozier hoping to improve on his batting average. Swung on and missed 0-2. Polanco's been pretty steady. The Twins are hoping that very soon, with the possible return of Buxton and Sano, that they'll be able to put a lineup out there that resembles at least what they'd hope to run out there 140 times this year. Bounced up the line foul.
Waiting for Dozier, waiting for Kepler to have the kind of second half that they had last year. Polanco to some degree. He's been okay, but not the Polanco that he was last year, which is understandable. But again, these days in the American League, very few teams can have one or two guys carry it. You need 5 or 6 guys swinging the bats like they can at the same time.
2 strikes now, a ball to Rosario, 1-2.
I just think Brian Dozier on deck is just so important to this lineup. He makes this lineup go in so many ways.
2-2, and Perez blocks most of it.
When he gets hot, it seems like just the mere fact that he is being Dozier-like just energizes everybody else up and down the lineup with the bat in their hands.
Pretty good breeze blowing out to right. We'll see if Rosario can put one up in the wind and into the seats. Beaten into the ground. Still 2-2. We've seen a lot of off-speed stuff.
Yep.
From Junis.
Junis, it's his best pitch for sure. And you mentioned the lack of good contact, other than the 2 hits by Mauer and the 1 by Rosario in the first inning, all 3 of which were fastballs. And the Twins haven't given Junis any indication that he ought not throw that breaking ball as much as he is.
And poked foul. This will be pitch number 50. Junis missed a couple of starts because of his lower back issues. And they'll only push him in the neighborhood of 75 pitches here tonight. And we'll get a chance to look at the Kansas City bullpen. Half to the right side. Mauer is forced. Rosario reaches on a fielder's choice. 2 down. And that'll bring up Dozier with two out and a man on.
And you look at, as I was saying, how important Brian is to this ball club. And the last 3 years after the All-Star break, you look at the numbers that he's put up, and especially last year when that run that they had to the playoff, to the postseason, he was the driving force. Everybody swung the bat well. Polanco was great. Buxton was great. Rosario was terrific. But this is the guy. I mean, he's been the guy for 3 or 4 years, and he will be the guy until he's no longer here.
And you saw that the home run frequency post All-Star break, twice as frequent the home runs were than the first half. So you look at the home runs hit, 16 in the first half, and you can imagine a world where 30 isn't out of the question if he can do what he has done typically in the second half. 1 strike. In terms of home runs, first the last 2 years after the break, 49 of them. 1 strike here from Junis. to Dozier. Now strike two. Full of fastballs.
I actually think Brian was sitting on a breaking ball, and I don't blame him one bit for that. As you mentioned, June's throwing a lot of breaking balls. Brian's a smart hitter. I just think he expected to see that breaking ball.
Just getting back is Rosario. Perez with a snap throw, making the catch on a pitch. Might have landed in front of the left-handed batter's box.
Well, just a tremendous. I mean, this is a shortstop play. Which is backhand, come up and fire. I mean, that's as athletic a play as you're going to see a catcher make.
1-2. And now 2-2, missing inside with a fastball. Foul ball.
There was the hanger that he was looking for. That ball right there, that pitch had home run written all over it. Brian, a little frustrated, I think, right there. You watch this pitch come spinning up there, sit right there where he likes the ball. Just hit over the top of it a little bit.
Another 2-2 pitch. Check swing, but he went. Says home plate umpire Jim Reynolds, and the at-bat ends. The inning ends. It's still 2-1 Kansas City. All over the downtown area, the plaza area, and of course here at Kauffman Stadium. Renovated, oh, what, 8 years ago, maybe? Something like that. Beautiful job they've done here. You can walk all the way around the ballpark. Keep your eye on the game as you make the circle around this ballpark. Lance Lynn has set down 4 in a row. He'll face Alcides Escobar to start the bottom of the third. And there's a first pitch strike. Had a chat with Ned Yost today about the Royals' seemingly never-ending pursuit for a good hitting coach, or one who could convey the right message to some of the hitters like Escobar, Moustakas, Hosmer when he was still here, Kane, and others. They had a spell here where they changed hitting coaches on a very regular basis.
Georgie even came down from that
within the season. Yeah, George Brett did it for like 6 weeks, something like that. But they had Andre David, Pedro Grifol, Kevin Seitzer, Jack Maloof, and finally they settled on Dale Swaim. And I asked Ned Yost today what the message was that Swaim was able to get across to these hitters like Escobar that the other hitting coaches were unable to convey, at least effectively. 1-2. 2-2. He said to be yourself, and if you want to attack a first pitch fastball, go ahead and do it. Put a good swing on it. See if you can drive it someplace. But then the second part of this, and this is what really separated the Royals in their 2 World Series years, 2-2 from Lynn to Escobar, and now in the dirt 3-2. When the count went to 3-2, as it is now with Lynn pitching to Escobar, put the ball in play. Cut your swing down, make the defense make a play to create the out. And now the Royals had the personnel that could do that. They'd been around for a while and were able to put that theory in practice. But boy, wouldn't the game be a better game now if every team was able to do what the Royals did effectively in 2014 and 15?
Well, there are a lot of great hitting tips and approaches embedded in what you just related there, starting with the first ball pitch and going all the way through the 2-strike or 3-2 approach.
Foul back.
I'll start from the back end first. I really think that you need to be a hitter in the big league. To be a good hitter, you need to be 2 hitters. You need to have your pre-2-strike approach, and then you have to have a 2-strike approach that gives you a chance to put the ball in play no matter what the pitch is. And I really agree with that, whether it's 3-2 or whatever the 2-strike approach is, or the 2-strike count is. But I want to go back to what you said, that as Escobar walks there, I want to go back to what you said. The first ball pitch, so many, you heard for quite a while, work the count, make the pitcher throw strikes, work the count. And so many people thought that meant take a lot of pitches. And it doesn't mean take a lot of pitches. It means take balls and take pitches that are tough to hit early in counts. But if you get a ball right down the middle, first ball pitch, it's like it's 3-1.
Right.
That might be the best pitch you see in the whole at bat.
Escobar goes with the Royals trying a hit and run.
So that's what gives rise to my theory that you need to be 2 hitters. You go up there and you get aggressive on how you think this pitcher's going to pitch you. And if it's fastballs, then get on the fastball early. If you get it a good one to hit, drive it someplace. Then when you get later on, and don't swing at balls on the corners. Those are outs. Those are designed to be outs. It's been outs for 150 years if balls on the corner. That's what every pitcher's trying to do. So lay off those till you get to 2 strikes. And then if you're going to do that, then you have to have a 2-strike approach.
No bunt attempt, and it's strike 2. No, he didn't offer at it. He ran out of the box, but according to John Tumpain, he did not offer at it. Well, as if on cue, Escobar had the type of plate appearance that they were talking about. 2 strikes, and then he worked it full, fouled off some pitches, and you can see Merrifield did not offer at the bunt attempt. And Escobar finally drew a walk rather than, you blink after strike 2 and you've missed strike 3. And it really worked well for the Royals. And of course, they've got a lot of young, inexperienced hitters here, and maybe they can get back to that. But they really frustrated the opposing teams with their ability to foul pitches off, keep at bats alive, put the ball in play. Little pop up. Mauer will make the play. That's out number 1. I just witnessed last night's game. In my mind, the most important hit of the game last night was Duda's little pop-up to left field. And he didn't hit it well, but he hit it to a part of the field that wasn't defended, and it dropped in for a 2-run single in the first inning. But by simply putting the ball in play, sometimes good things will happen.
Right, and I would say theoretically you're right about that. He was not, in my mind, I want to give credit where credit's due. Gibson absolutely beat him with a 2-strike fastball inside, and Duda wasn't trying to hit the ball down left field line, but he did put the ball in play. That's true. It wasn't really a 2-strike swing. It wasn't the kind of 2-strike swing that I'm talking about. But your point is the right one. I mean, put the ball in play. My point is more about approach. You can't put the ball in play with 2 strikes as often as you should if you don't change your approach in order to be more productive on all the pitches. You can't just keep saying, yeah, I still want to pull the ball and I'll put the ball in play with 2 strikes, because you're not gonna get that done.
But you can. I mean, some guys still do it. A few of them choke up, cut down on your swing.
Yeah, you don't see that much anymore.
And 1-2 now. The call to Jorge Bonifacio.
But a lot of good hitters will tell you about the times when they got 2 strikes and they choked up and they were just trying to hit the ball up the middle or the other way, and they'd end up getting a pitch and just react to it and hit it 9 miles to the pull field for a home run. It happens a lot. You don't have to try to. I mean, home runs by mistake when you aren't intending happen a lot.
Bonifacio waves at strike 3, 2 down. MLB At Bat is your #1 Twins app. You can customize your experience to catch every moment this season. Get Twins home screen icons and features such as the MLB.TV Game of the Day, pitch tracking, in-game highlights, live radio broadcasts, stats, news, and more. Download MLB At Bat today. 2 down, and now Moustakas reached on a fielder's choice. Then Perez hit his home run, and the Royals had their 2-1 lead. What they did with Moustakas back then, and he's kind of become more of a pull hitter again, and he was maybe the toughest sell for the young Kansas City hitters that hadn't yet been to postseason play, to get him to use the whole field. And now he's become more of a pull hitter again. 38 home runs last year, a new club record. 1-0, and now 2-0.
But he had hit rock bottom. I mean, he was hitting 200,
right,
and he has too much talent for that. And again, it's not just using the whole field. It's just wait longer, see the ball longer. When you're trying to pull the ball, you have to hit it so far out in front of you and be so perfect with your timing.
3-0.
And the season that turned him around, we saw him get a lot of hits to left field and left center, and he was waiting longer. He wasn't striking out as much. And once you do that and you get that sense that you really do have more time than you think, then you can go back to the pull idea and do it more effectively.
And now a 4-pitch walk, second walk this inning, third in the ball game for Lynn. And Perez will again come up with a chance to do some damage.
See those pitches right there that Moustakas took and then ultimately walked? Those were swings and misses or weak outs when he was hitting 200, because he was trying to pull everything. And when you're trying to pull everything, you're anxious and swing at balls you shouldn't swing at. And first inning, we look at pretty strong man hitting a tough pitch a long way the other way. Speaking of not having to pull the ball all the time, that was an unintended home run. He was just trying to get his bat on the ball and strong enough to hit it out the other way.
Off the outside corner, ball 1.
If you're going to get Perez to swing at that ball off the plate, you're going to have to show him something on the inside part of the plate, in off the plate. He wants to pull the ball. You can see only 12% really literally to right field. He wants to pull it, but you got to make him think he might get a pitch to pull. Ooh. Hanger right there.
StatCast powered by AWS, showing you where Perez is more than likely to hit the ball. And so he goes over the wall to right field in his first inning at bat, driving in 2. 1-1. '60th pitch of the night for Lance Lynn. 2-1.
He's having a hard time finding that outside corner or just off with the slider, and hitter's not going to swing at it if he hasn't seen the ball in on it. It's just one of those things about hitting in any time, but especially in the big leagues. You get the more pitches you see inside, the more anxious you get and swing at bad balls outside. And Lynn's not going to be able to get him to swing at that ball out there.
3-1. Duda on deck.
Unless he gives him an inkling that maybe he might come inside with effectiveness. dangerous count and pitch right here. Perez has seen a lot of pitches. He knows what the fastball speed is. He's got a strike to give away. He'll be looking at left field on this one.
Third walk of the inning, fourth in the ball game, 59th of the year for Lance Lynn in 94 innings. So the bases are loaded thanks to 3 walks and Garvin Alston with a slow walk to the mound. Duda bounced out to Dozier's first time up, and he is just 1 for 18 in his matchups with Lance Lynn. But this is a game-breaking situation here. There have been 5 plate appearances in this inning, and the only ball put in play was the 60-foot weak pop-up hit to Mauer off the bat of Merrifield. Duda had quite a night last night. 2 flared singles to left and left center, and then a bomb down the right field line. Off the plate outside, ball 1. "63 pitches, 32 strikes for Lance Lynn." At the knees, big pitch there, 1-1.
Look at the last pitch, below the strike zone, and got the call.
One and one. Breaking ball, 2-1. Signed Duda because of course the Royals exploited Duda's inability to throw at first base for the Mets in the World Series. Maybe the key play of the 2015 World Series with Hosmer coming home. Line to left, and it's down for a hit. A run will score, and Lynn eventually does pay for the 3 walks. Duda with another RBI hit, and it's 3-1. Escobar, who drew the leadoff walk, scores from third base. And now Hunter Dozier.
Well, I've seen a lot of fastballs, and this one just tailing out over the plate. Doing a pretty good job of hitting right there, not trying to pull the ball. That ball was out over the plate and moving away from him. He just went with it.
Dozier struck out his first time up. And Wilson with a block and save, ball 1. Twins have bullpen activity here in the 3rd inning. Fastball gets a swing and a miss. 1-1. Matt McGill getting loose. Lynn had retired 4 men in a row prior to starting this inning with the first of his 3 walks. Swing and a miss again. Pitch number 70 with only 8 outs recorded.
We'll see if Bobby Wilson wants Lance Lynn to go up the ladder here. Dozier has now swung at and missed 3 straight high fastballs. The one that struck him out his first time up, and now 2 in a row. There it is up there, and didn't get it over the plate.
You know, last night when Alan Buznitz came in, you were accurately, I think, encouraging Buznitz to throw more breaking balls, and in the absence of him being able to throw it for a strike, there was no reason for the hitter to even look for a breaking ball. Same too, I think, with Lance Lynn, right? I mean, he's thrown a few breaking balls, but he hasn't thrown the ability to throw it over for a strike.
Absolutely right. First of all, we saw the graphic in the first inning. 77% of his pitches are fastballs, so he doesn't. You're going to see mostly those anyway. And then on top of that, the breaking balls he has thrown, I don't know if he's thrown one for a strike yet today. So if you're a hitter, you absolutely spit on that pitch.
2-2 to Hunter Dozier. And a half swing and a foul. A laborious inning. You like that word?
Yep, he's laboring for sure.
Dozier up there with a 2-2 count and a chance to break the game open here in the third.
Yep, high fastball. Just stay up there. You haven't had a good swing at one yet. Throw it where you want to throw it. Too low.
Back.
A little bit too low.
.35 pitches this inning for Lance Lynn. Another 2-2. And a breaking ball tapped foul. But he threw it for a strike.
He did, but consequently it was a bit of a hanger there, and I think he got away with that. It's hard to throw a slider when it's not your best pitch, when it's 2-2 and the bases are loaded. I mean, his best slider is going to be breaking down and away, and you see this one right here, not too bad, but by definition you have to throw a strike with it, and when you want to throw a strike with a slider, it's dangerous. The best sliders are always breaking down below the strike zone or off outside the strike zone, or both.
And a trip to the mound from Wilson.
Bobby Wilson knows that if we could throw the fastball stomach high or letter high, we got him here. I just want to be sure that we're on the same page here. Let's strike him out with a high fastball.
Foul tip. The pitcher looked like he might have clipped the corner, but Dozier was able to get a piece of it. Not so sure that if Lynn doesn't get Dozier here, I'm not so sure the Twins are going to stick with him. It's because of the number of pitches thrown this inning.
Right.
10th pitch of this at bat. Check swing, no, and now it's a full count with the bases full. Bases full, mainly because of walks. One run is in because of a walk. And Lynn in danger of walking Dozier. On the ground. And Polanco over to Mauer, and that ends it. One for the Royals. They leave 3, and it's 3-1 Kansas City.
Twins struck early. Joe Mauer with his record-setting double, most doubles in Twins history for Joe Mauer, followed by a base hit by Eddie Rosario, and the Twins were out in front 1-0. But a walk and a 2-run opposite field shot by Salvador Perez right back in the bottom of the first. The Royals are up 2-1. They would add another run in the bottom of the second, and that's where we are now as we hit to the top of the bottom of the third. They had another run, and we're in the top of the fourth now with the Twins hit.
Middle of the Twins lineup, Escobar, Polanco, and Kepler against Jacob Junis. And strike one. Mauer's gotten 2 hits, 2 line drive hits. Rosario with a line drive hit. Those have been the only 3 well hit balls. And now strike 2 to Escobar. Junis approaching 60 pitches. This might be his last inning of work, depending on how the inning proceeds, of course. And that is, I think, a foul ball. No. And Escobar just stood there waving at strike 3, and the pitch was in the dirt. And Perez just meekly tagged him 1 away. Well, he missed it by plenty.
Yeah, that was the breaking ball, and not a particularly good one, but sometimes when you're a hitter, you're up there in the box, you get 2 strikes, and you just get confused. Sometimes there's a brain cramp in there somewhere, and you don't see the ball well. That could very well have been it, with the bright sunlight out there and the hitter's backdrop that frames the seeing of the baseball. But for whatever reason, Eduardo Escobar didn't see that ball well, and he swung like he didn't.
Well, you've talked about this before in relation to the shadows, that when the mound is in the shadows and the hitting eye is in bright sunshine, that sometimes that's the worst condition for a hitter.
Right. It's not as bad this late in the evening because the whole field's in the shadow. Except
that's to the left field corner, and a long run for Gordon, but he's a good athlete. But that ball drops, and Polanco will get a pop fly single. Not used to having a ball hit in the air to left field that isn't caught by Alex Gordon.
Caught, right.
Polanco will take it. He's aboard. Now Max Kepler.
Long run here for Gordon. Just hit in the perfect spot for where he was playing.
Kepler hit a ground ball to first his first time up. Hold foul. I've never been a big fan of the stat keeping track of run differential, but typically if you ranked the teams in the divisions by run differential, a pretty accurate gauge as to who's in first, who's in third, and who's in fifth. Kepler swings and misses 0-2. The exception to that, not rule but theory, the Seattle Mariners, who have no run differential.
They win every game by 1 run.
They have given up as many runs as they have scored, and they are 20 games over 500.
It's amazing.
Isn't that something?
Yeah, it is.
And Kepler's called out on strikes, 2 down. And the last 3 outs have come on strikeouts.
Well, this is the ultimate quintessential backdoor breaking ball right here. Outside, nip the corner, and going down. That's a fantastic 2-strike pitch. That's very difficult to hit right there.
Twins out hitting the Royals 4-2, but they're behind 3-1. In the run column, here's Grossman, hit a ground ball to second his first time up. Fastball off the plate.
You've heard that old saying that said since you heard it in Little League all the way up, a walk's as good as a hit.
Yeah.
I think walks are oftentimes better than hits. Walks tend to mean that the opposing pitcher is throwing a lot of pitches. And when you're facing a big league lineup and walk a lot of guys, it just by definition, doesn't take very many hits to really break the game open, really hurt you. If you make even a big league hitting team, make everybody get a hit, you got a chance.
Off the plate, 2-0.
First of all, it's hard to hit. Anyway, it's just hard. And then you got 7 guys out there behind you that are pretty good with leather on their hands.
That's down the line, and that will twist. Foul by about 8 feet. Two and one. Heading back to Minnesota or South Dakota. Well, I don't know. The adult there has a Twins shirt on, and he's got a Royals shirt on. We'll go Iowa. Split allegiance there. 2-1 to Robbie Grossman. Time called. Twins have had problems this year many times with finesse left-handers. Now they're having a hard time with a finesse right-hander. Strike called, 2-2. I don't know. Have we seen anything harder than 92? Maybe 93.
Now we saw 94 a couple of times, but that's top end, I think. But that's, I mean, if you've got a good breaking ball and you're throwing both pitches where you want to, that's enough velocity.
And now 3-2. Polanco will take off from first base. Jake Cave on deck. Polanco goes, and Grossman fouled it off the handle of the bat. And Junis reaching the back end of his pitch allotment. Left-hander Brian Flynn getting loose. Twins didn't do much at the plate last night until they got into the bullpen and nearly stole it at the end. And that's slashed foul. Man, we've had some great catches by some of the kids here.
The kids in the stands today are here with a purpose. They brought their gloves and they fully expect to catch the ball if it's hit to them.
Full count. Polanco goes. And there's ball 4, and Cave will have a chance with 2 men aboard.
Here's a line drive into the stands. Catch it, have it roll up into the snow cone, but you still caught it. Nice job. Ouch. Ouch.
Now they're going to stall for a little time here, and what this walk has done is probably eliminated any chance that Junis would have of pitching 5 innings to qualify for a win. Not that that matters as much as it used to. And Ned Yost is going to come out and make the change here with Flynn warmed up and the left-hand hitting Cave due up. So Junis gave the Royals a chance here. He was behind 1-0, 4 pitches into his night's work, but he'll leave having given up just the 1 run so far, and he's got a 3-1 lead in the top of the 4th inning. Now I don't know that we've seen the signal given yet, but the assumption was Yost would make the pitching change, and perhaps he's just trying to buy a little extra time for Flynn too. Reynolds out to the mound, and Ned Yost still hasn't signaled, and now he will leave Junis in the game. So now I wonder, I believe that might constitute 2 trips to the mound for whatever that's worth, because first the catcher went out, then the manager came out to join the conference. So we'll see whether that's 1 trip or 2. More importantly, Cave's got a chance to do some damage, and there is strike 1.
I'd be real interested to know what Ned Yost said to Junis there in that trip. I know that he likes Junis' stuff tonight. I think he's liked what he's seen by the command. Junis, the Twins really haven't hit the ball hard very often against Junis. He probably likes his matchup here as well as anybody in the bullpen.
Cave with a half swing, strike 2. They have the Royals listed for whatever it's worth. They still have 5 mound visits left, so we'll assume that that just counted for 1. 2 strikes to Cave.
I'm going to guess that Ned Yost went out and told him, this is your last hitter. Don't leave anything out there. Go get him. Pitch this like it's in the 5th and you're about to get a win.
Check to swing on a close pitch. 1-2. Flynn is ready. He's hardly even tossing the ball down in the Kansas City bullpen anymore. Twins in need of a 2-out hit. On the outside corner. A backdoor breaking ball to end the threat, leaving 2 aboard. And Junis comes off the mound with a 3-1 lead.
Minnesota Wild made news today, signing defenseman Matt Dumba to a 5-year, $30 million contract. Last season, Dumba set career highs with 14 goals, 36 assists, 50 points. That point total for Dumba was 3rd best all time for a Wild defenseman. And Dumba said today, quote, "I'm very appreciative and happy that I get to be in the state of hockey for 5 more years." A big signing for the Wild today, Dick and Roy.
And the hockey season will get started before you know it. Here's Lance Lynn out there to start the 4th inning. Pitch up to Gordon, fouled back, 1 strike. Gordon hit a fly ball to left his first time up. It'll be the bottom 1/3 of the Kansas City lineup. Gordon, Herrera, and Escobar. And Lynn could sorely use a very quick 1-2-3 inning. 1-1.
As could Paul Molitor and the Twins bullpen.
Yes. And that skips to Wilson, 2-1. Right center field, and Kay plays it on a hop. Gordon with an opening base hit here in the 4th inning. And Gordon now 10 for 19 against Lance Lynn. And now Rosell Herrera hit a ground ball to Dozier his first time up.
Kind of interested in this young man here, Rosell Herrera, as a potential player. He looks like, to me, like he's got an awful lot of athletic skills. He runs well. I was talking to some of the Royals personnel. He was an infielder in the Cincinnati Reds organization and shortstop, actually. So he's got an awful lot of athletic skills. They came over here. They moved him to the outfield. He's a switch hitter, as I say, runs real well. And I like his stroke when I've seen him, but I certainly haven't seen very much. But he looks like he may have a chance. They're going to give him a chance out there in center field. See if, I think you mentioned it last night, see if this might be a young man that they'd be part of the solution.
And Gordon takes off, but I think the bunt attempt was fouled, and it's 1-1.
Mix up in signs right there. They weren't going to bunt and run, so that was either going to be a straight steal, in which case Herrera ought not try to bunt the ball, or else it was a hit and run, and Herrera didn't get it.
Base stealers are just 3 for 8 with Lynn on the mound. That's pretty good. On the outside corner, and it's 1-2. Pretty good for the pitcher, with just 3 successful steals in 8 tries. Slashed foul into the netting over the Twins dugout. Still 1-2. Three runs for the Royals, 2 of the runs scoring directly from walks in the first inning and again in the third. Half swing, but he went, I think. Yep, and Herrera knew it. 1 down, and that'll bring up Escobar. Monday, July 30th is College of St. Benedict and St. John's University night at Target Field. Limited number of St. Benedict and St. John's theme night ticket packages are available that include a game ticket and white and red Twins cap. You can learn more at twinsbaseball.com/CSBSJU or call 800-33-TWINS. Escobar drew a leadoff walk. He had a great plate appearance, and he was rewarded with the walk and eventually came in to score on Duda's single to left field. Inside ball 1. Indians and Rangers are underway. Second inning in Arlington, no score. Bartolo Colon going for the Texas Rangers. And Carlos Carrasco for the Indians. There goes Gordon, and the pitch fouled away. Talking with Ned Yost, talking about a variety of things, and what he'd like to see changed in the game. He actually is pro shift abolishment, which kind of surprised me. But he said, you know, you hardly ever see the hit and run at all, and I think they've tried to do it twice tonight.
Say that again.
1-1.
I'm still kind of reeling from Ned Yost wanting to abolish the shift.
He said you hardly ever see a hit and run now because everybody's trying to hit doubles and home runs, but I think they've tried to do it twice tonight, including 2 pitches ago.
Yeah, it's absolutely was a hit and run attempt 2 pitches ago.
1-2 to Escobar.
But again, like beating the shift, I think being able to hit and run is part of a skill a big league hitter ought to have.
You're such a dinosaur.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, it's.
Look, I love the home runs. I do. I loved the All-Star game, as I mentioned. I love the great strikeout stuff those pitchers had. I love the ability to hit the ball to the ballpark that the hitters had, but that's fine. I do that all you want, but be able to do some other things too. If you go to Paul Molitor, and I don't know that I would call Paul Molitor a dinosaur. I don't know if you would.
I wouldn't either.
You certainly
Just
wouldn't
you
to
publicly on
his, you wouldn't
television.
certainly to his face like you do to me.
Right.
But his favorite time ever was second half of last year when they were scoring runs all different kinds of ways.
Gordon goes, pitch tap to third. Somebody needs to cover third base. Good play across the diamond, and Polanco covers third with Escobar having to charge the chopper. Third base with the runner going would have been an easy target for Gordon, but he's stuck at second, 2 down, and that'll bring up Merrifield.
Just another example of what Eduardo Escobar is so good at. Fielding the ball in a stressed position of his body, getting himself in the throwing position, and making a strong throw on the money. He does it time after time from whatever position he's playing. He doesn't have the greatest range at shortstop. He's not the prototypical third baseman, but if he catches the ball, you're out. He's got a strong enough arm, and it has a very athletic body where he can get the ball over to whatever base he needs on time and on the money.
Runner at second, 2 down. Merrifield at the plate, and another nice save by Wilson. Our DQ combination involving the batter at the plate, Whit Merrifield, 30 doubles, 17 steals.
Which is like 47 doubles.
Right. And that's
not counting the stealing of third, which
Right.
and I think he does quite a bit. He likes to.
1-0 from Lynn. And now inside 2-0. Royals getting 2 in the first, 1 in the third. Now trying to get another one here after Gordon's leadoff single in the fourth. Swing and a miss, 2-1. Well, getting back to what Ned Yost was saying, this game is its most entertaining when the ball is put in play. Not so much when it's hit over the fence, but when the ball is put in play. You just remarked about Escobar's nice play. Ball wasn't hit well, but Escobar athletically had to make a good play. Those are the plays that make this such a fun game to watch. 2-1. And now 2-2.
Well, it's absolutely true, and you know, it's kind of like in golf. You know, 100% of the putts that don't get to the hole don't go in. Strikeout, you have no chance. You're just walking back. There's nothing positive can happen for your team if you're walking back to the bench after strike 3. Strikeouts are going to be a part of the game, and more strikeouts for more home runs, and that's a good trade in a lot of instances. But I think that you can have a happy medium there. I think that you can cut down on strikeouts and not cut down on home runs that much.
Full count now to Merrifield. First base is open, and Bonifacio's on deck. Pounded foul. Well, at the end of this road trip, I'll be in Boston, and I'll be working with Torrey Hunter. Now, Torrey hit a lot of great, significant home runs in his career, but I think Twins fans will remember Torrey more for the plays he made in the field. The athletic plays he made, acrobatic catches, home run robbing catches, diving on the Metrodome turf, what have you. You know, those are the things, the plays that fans tend to remember.
Well, I hope so, because there wasn't anybody in the world better than Torrey Hunter making those plays.
And strike 3 is called. Lynn almost walked Merrifield, but he struck him out instead, and we head to the 5th in a 3-1 game. Pepsi fans of the game watching the Twins and Royals play the middle game of the 3-game series. And so many Twins fans here for this series, especially on a weekend. We're happy to bring you Twins baseball. It's always a joy to come here. The people we work with are great. Fans are great. It's been a pretty good rivalry over the years. Brian Flynn comes into the ballgame to pitch to the Twins starting in the 5th inning, and Bobby Wilson, the first man he'll face. Strike one.
I guess you can't make generalizations about any place and the people who live there. I mean, but I'll tell you, I mean, I've come to Kansas City for a lot of years, and it's a joy. The people here are, I've never had anything but a warm, kind of welcoming experience, feeling. Just
right.
Everybody. They're
So
good baseball fans.
So happy they won the World Series a few years ago after waiting 30 years. From 85 to 15. 1-2 to Bobby Wilson. Mauer and Rosario will follow. And Wilson lifts it foul into the seats. Hooked wickedly foul, and the ball girl got out of the way. That's how hard that ball was hit. Still 1-2. And Wilson gets a piece. Twins have not fared too well against Kansas City this year, even though the Royals have really struggled. Royals have the edge in the season series, 4 wins to 3.
Seems like that's always the way. A team that is struggling the most in a given league and division.
2-2.
Seems like there's always one team they handle pretty well for whatever reason. It's better than they obviously, as the record would indicate, they're not handling anybody very well, but it seems to always work that way.
Now full count to Wilson, who's having a nice battle with Flynn to get the 5th inning started. And Wilson fouls it again. Wilson with a bouncer to short, his first time up. 100 at bats now for Wilson, 18 hits, 7 doubles and a home run. On the ground, hit right to Escobar. Second time in a row that Escobar has thrown Wilson out, 1 away. Twins have 4 hits. Mauer has 2 of them in his first 2 at bats.
Got 2 fastballs. The first time up, he took a fastball for a ball and then hit the next one he saw for a double that put him in the first place all time in doubles in Twins history. And then, as is classic Joe, got to 2 strikes, worked the count and the pitches until he got one that he could hit hard and singled again.
Strike one.
The one characteristic about Joe that has been the most important characteristic, I think, of his whole career as a hitter, and is as he does it as well or better than anybody that I can think of, is keep his head absolutely still as he's seeing the ball and as he's striding and getting ready to hit it. His head just doesn't move forward. He keeps it very, very still. As important as that is, you'd think that more of us would have done that better. And throughout history, you see guys that are not as adept at doing that. Joe's the best, one of the best I've ever seen.
1-2. This is where Bauer has been really, really good this year with 2 strikes, and he takes a close pitch. You know, there were a couple of years where Joe, had he not been hurt, would have struck out 100 times. He's really cut back on his strikeouts this year. Halfway through the season, and he spent some time on the disabled list, but this might be his 250th at bat. He's only struck out 36 times. 3-2. Rosario on deck. Fouled away. Joe did strike out over 100 times in 2015, 112 times in 592 at bats. But he started cutting back on the strikeouts last year, and he's dramatically done that this year. Hoping that he'll get somewhere in the neighborhood of 500 at bats this year. Another 3-2. Up the middle, third hit. He's just incredible and so much fun to watch. You talk about a 2-strike approach.
Yes.
He's had it from his rookie year.
Yes.
3 hits tonight for Bauer. And now Rosario to the plate as the tying run.
So foul off, take pitches, foul them off, take them, foul them off, and then get a ball right down the middle. And that's a ball you can handle.
So 250 at bats, and let's just prorate it for 500 at bats. You're talking 72 strikeouts, and in this day and age, that's very, very good. Here's Rosario, and there is strike 1. Rosario with an RBI single in the first, reaching a fielder's choice in the third. Fouled away, 0-2. Royals are going to try to get 15 outs from their bullpen. 15 effective outs, with Junis only completing 4 innings. And Rosario waves, and he's gone on 3 pitches, 2 down. I'm gonna bring up Dozier.
Little breaking ball here with 2 strikes. And he just missed it. Well, that's not a pitch that we've. Let me put it a different way. We've seen Eddie Rosario handle that pitch from left-handers pretty well in the past. Sometimes you just swing and miss.
And Dozier takes strike 1, 0 for 6 since the break. He hasn't gotten the ball out of the infield yet. One strike. Swing and a miss, 2 strikes. One and 2. Bauer's 1-out single has put him at first base. Now with 2 out, 1-2 to the batter. And Dozier takes another called third strike. And the Twins lead Bauer at first and trail 3-1. #1 selling brand in the Twin Cities. By Grant Casino, the best stories start here. And by Wisconsin Dells, the water park capital of the world. Beautiful summer evening at this beautiful ballpark. Twins need to do something about the scoreboard. 3-1 Kansas City as we go to the bottom of the 5th. Bonifacio, Moustakas, and Perez will face Lance Lynn. This is his 100th pitch, and it's a slow breaking ball for a called strike. Bonifacio walked in the first, and then although Bonifacio was taken off the bases on a fielder's choice, Perez hit a home run with 2 outs to put the Royals in front 2-1. And then Bonifacio struck out his next time up, and it's 0-2. And when Lynn beat the Royals 10 days ago at Target Field, 5 innings, 4 runs, 3 of them earned, and 114 pitches. And if he completes the 5th inning here today, he'll, at the rate he's going, have at least that many pitches. One and 2, and a ball poked foul. Now the Twins have left-hander Taylor Rogers getting loose with Moustakas on deck. It might be that Lynn will have just Bonifacio to get here with the left-hand hitting Moustakas on deck. Half swing, check 2-2.
Paul Molitor is torn about where he goes with Lynn and when and how he goes to the bullpen. He would love for Lynn to get through this inning, I'm sure, and not have to go to the bullpen mid-inning here in the 5th. But there comes a point where, both from a pitch count standpoint and from a can't allow any more runs standpoint, you can't allow base runners. Just you have to make a decision.
And a leadoff walk.
Those are the kinds of things that'll make the decision almost mandatory.
And now Moustakas. And some of those you can see weren't even close. No move from the Twins dugout, so Lynn, having issued his second consecutive leadoff, or not second consecutive, but second leadoff walk, now will face Moustakas with Perez on deck. Moustakas reached in a fielder's choice and drew a walk in the 3rd. Swung on and fouled back. In the 3rd inning alone, Lynn walked 3 men. He's walked 5 in the ballgame. Given up just 3 hits, but 5 walks. There just haven't been, and tonight's been a glaring example, there just haven't been many sequences of back-to-back strikes. 108 pitches, 59 strikes, 49 balls.
Well, unfortunately, it's kind of been the characteristic this year. Just
Popped
not really
up.
had command at all on a consistent basis.
And out of play, 1 and 2.
Watch Escobar return to his position. The infielder's getting ready again. The pace of this game and the number of pitches. You're a professional out there. You got to be ready every pitch, but it doesn't make it easy on players to be ready to make good plays for their pitcher if this many pitches keep going up to the plate.
And a called 3rd strike. Moustakas strikes out for the 1st out, and that'll bring up Perez. the inside edge.
Yeah, just froze him. That's a thing that's hard to ignore with Lance Lynn. He throws so many fastballs, and he gets people out with fastballs because it moves a lot. He throws hard enough with movement that he can be effective, and it's just a question of getting ahead and staying ahead like he did with Moustakas. He doesn't have enough of those kinds of at-bats.
Inside to Perez, ball one. Perez hit the opposite field, 2-run home run in the first to make it a 2-1 Kansas City lead. Then he drew one of the 3 walks, the third of the 3 walks Lynn issued in the 3rd inning. Half swing, now 2-0. Well, the way it's played out, I think Lynn understands the situation. Unless I'm all wet, he's got this guy, and the pitch count will be whatever it is. But with Duda in the on deck circle, the Twins have Rogers warmed up for a reason. On the ground toward the hole, nice pickup by Polanco, fires across on 1 hop. Great play by Polanco in the hole. Bonifacio reaches second, and out number 2.
You see him dive to his right, come up very quickly, get himself under control, and make a controlled 1-hop throw. That's a great athletic play. Getting up quickly is athletic, and then the 2 things that Jorge Polanco has really improved. One is his understanding of the speed of the ball hit. He understood that he had some time there, and that Twins will, with first base open, will walk Lucas Duda here. But the other thing is knowing who the runner is, and instead of hurrying that play, he knows he's not going to get Bonifacio going into second, but he has a chance for Perez, who doesn't run well, if he can come up and make a good throw to first. All the way around, that was an athletic and smart play, more experienced play by Jorge Polanco.
An intentional walk. Now 1st and 2nd, 2 down, and Dozier, who has struck out and grounded out against Lynn. Dozier grounded out after a long at bat, leaving the bases full in the 3rd. Oh, a breaking ball over the inside corner, strike 1. Next pitch will be his 115th. It'll be a season high. Twice he's thrown 114 pitches. Down and in, a ball. Swing and a miss with a breaking ball, and it's 1-2.
That's what I was talking about earlier. When you show the hitter the fastball inside, you're much more likely to get swings and misses on that breaking ball away. When he's looking out there, he sees a lot of pitches away. He sees that breaking ball away better and earlier.
Fouled back. Royals got 2 runs in the first, 1 run in the 3rd. Again, the Twins are out hitting the Royals 5-3, and here in the 5th inning, the Royals have taken their 5th and 6th walks of the game against Lynn, albeit one of the walks an intentional walk. Caught by Lynn, and that ends the inning. Royals get a couple of base runners, leave them aboard. It's still 3-1. FactSportsNorth.com to submit a photo and message for the opportunity to be featured in the Minnesota Lottery Winner's Circle during our broadcast and receive $100 in scratch tickets with the Minnesota Lottery. Every day is game day. Now, that's a rhetorical question. I'm asked to read it here, but this game could use a little excitement, don't you think?
Could use a little excitement.
And Brian Flynn, who pitched a scoreless fifth inning, will face Escobar, Polanco, and Kepler. See if they can provide a little excitement. And that's lifted down the right field line over the tarp and out of play. Escobar with a walk and a quick and leadoff strikeout in the fourth inning. And out of right field, that's hanging in the air for Bonifacio. One down. And it'll bring up now Polanco. Polanco with a strikeout in the first and a single in the fourth as a left-handed batter. Again, he's trying to get on track from the other side of the plate. And he'll have a chance to do that in this at-bat. Polanco, one hit, 21 at-bats. The hit was a double and drove in a couple of runs. Fastball on the outside corner. Zach Duke getting loose. Trevor Hildenberger getting the elbow loose with the rubber bands.
That's a rotator cuff exercise right there that Trevor's doing.
1-1 to Polanco.
That right there, that moving backwards. It's a back of the shoulder, get the rotator cuff loose exercise.
1-2 to Polanco. Good take, 2-2. Polanco's not drawn a walk from this side of the plate. He's not been one to ever draw a high number of walks. But again, only 4 strikeouts. It's not a question of not making contact, just not making solid contact yet. 2-2. It's to center. And Herrera in his tracks, 2 away. We'll bring up Kepler. Join Fox Sports North at the next viewing party Tuesday, July 24th, beginning at 5:30 p.m. at Sunshine Factory Bar and Grill in Plymouth. You can watch the Twins take on Toronto, enjoy drink specials, register for tickets and prizes and more. Visit foxsportsnorth.com/events for details. You brought your passport, right?
I did.
Okay, good.
I did. They should let me in.
Here is Kepler. If not, I think my expired South Dakota pheasant hunting license might get you in. I'll vouch for you.
I would need some vouching. I might anyway.
2-0. Kepler with a ground ball to first and a strikeout. Three and 0 with Grossman on deck. And a 4-pitch walk with 2 outs. Kepler's aboard, and now Grossman. He's actually having a pretty good year from the right side of the plate. Grossman hitting .300 from this batter's box. A couple of home runs, 5 doubles.
Robbie's always had a lot of confidence in his ability to hit right-handed. Became a switch hitter late, relatively late.
When did you start?
When I was 14.
Okay, and that's typical, isn't it? Usual normal age for switch hitting?
I don't know what normal is. I know a lot of guys have started a lot later than that, but I would say that somewhere around in there, 14, 15, 16 is probably about about the time.
You know me well enough to know I get easily confused, and I still remember at the Metrodome in the not where the players dined, but there was a little area in between the clubhouse and the back room at the Metrodome, and it had mirrors on the wall. Down and in, and Perez digs it out 2-0. And I didn't go back there very often, but I did go back there once, and you were shadow swinging from one side of the plate. I forget which, but I was trying to figure out whether you were looking into the mirror, trying to figure out your right-handed swing or left-handed swing. Because you were looking at it in the mirror.
Good point.
You know,
good point. But I was whichever way I was standing.
That's the
believe
side
me, that's what I was trying to figure out.
I was in the health club today, and I was watching through the mirror the golf tournament, and I thought, well, now who's that left-handed golfer that looks like Tiger Woods? I get easily confused about mirrors.
What's funny about that is that I've known left-handed swingers of a golf club that would watch golf on television in a mirror, for exactly that purpose.
Is that right?
Because they're, especially guys that are older, you know, weren't used to seeing a lot of left-handed players, or there still aren't, but they're more than used to be.
Driven to the right field corner. Bonifacio gets there. Nice running catch by the Kansas City right fielder, and the Twins leave Kepler at first. Bottom of the sixth, Royals up 3-1. The official vehicles of summer. As if the game were played in quicksand, it's 3-1 Kansas City, and we're going to the bottom of the sixth inning.
Already?
Zach Duke will come out of the Twins pen. Lance Lynn giving the Twins 5 innings, but walking 6, one of them intentionally. And he's behind, and the Twins are behind 3-1. And Duke will come in to pitch to the bottom third of the Kansas City lineup, starting with Alex Gordon. Gordon with a single and 2 trips against Lynn. Strike at the knees.
With a couple of oops or hiccups that happen with every pitcher, especially out of the bullpen during the course of the season. I think Zach Duke has done a very, very good job for the Minnesota Twins this year. Left-hander out of the bullpen, has been able to get both left-handers and right-handers out. His manager, I think, has an awful lot of confidence in him late in the game.
And a quick strikeout of Gordon, 1 away. We'll bring up Herrera. Ryan Presley getting loose. I don't know why I've been surprised, because in Duke's major league career, both a starter and a reliever, mainly as a reliever, I guess his strikeout rates really jumped, but he's striking out more than a hitter per inning pitched. Last year, of course, just pitched 18 1/3 innings after coming back from Tommy John surgery. 1-0. Up the middle on a base hit. Herrera is aboard with a single to center. And that'll bring up Escobar.
Well, Duke throws an awful lot of strikes, and for the most part, low strikes to both right-handers and left-handers. And with his fastball and the couple of speeds and trajectories of breaking ball that he throws in, I really believe that a manager, in this case Paul Molitor, it gives them a sense of security and confidence when you know your pitcher's not going to walk anybody, and he's going to compete in the low strike zone most of the time. I just think there's a competence.
One strike.
That is of great security to a manager when a pitcher is able to do that. Guys aren't going to get every hitter out. And Zach Duke's not going to overpower anybody, but he's extremely competent, in my view, about going about his approach consistently. You don't see him just blow up. Just come out of nowhere and throw 4 balls in a row,
right?
And walk a couple of guys and start hanging breaking balls. You just don't. Everything's pretty much under control. And like I said, every pitcher is going to have their times when they don't have it as well as others.
Fouled back now in his last outing, back at home before the break against the Rays. He had 2/3 of an inning, 3 hits, 3 earned runs, and a walk.
Right.
And he's had a couple of those. But for the most part, it's a pretty clean ledger for him.
Yes.
0-2 to Escobar. Now down and in.
That's a really good try there with a back foot breaking ball. 0-2. Great spot. Was not a strike. Was not a. The hitter, especially a hitter like Escobar, is protecting the plate. There's guarding the plate. He's going to swing at anything close, whether it's a fastball or a breaking ball. So you throw it down there, see if you can get him to swing over the top and not give him anything good with 0-2. Make it be tantalizing, but not anything he can really get the big end of the bat on the ball well. It's a good 0-2 pitch.
1-2 to Escobar. Merrifield on deck. Deep to left, and Rosario over. He'll make the catch on the line drive for out number 2. And that will bring up Merrifield. Merrifield 0 for 3 with 2 strikeouts. And Paul Molitor's coming out to make a change. Duke faced 3 men, gave up a hit, got 2 outs. And it'll be Trevor Hildenberger coming in to try to wrap up the 6th inning. Ryan Presley, I beg your pardon, the pitcher. 3-1 Kansas City. Ryan Presley trying to keep it that way. Can stretch out on the grass at Target Field. Yoga nights coming up, presented by United Healthcare, Wednesday, September 5th. Participants will receive a Twins branded yoga mat, Twins game tickets, and an on-field yoga class. You can reserve your spot at twinsbaseball.com/yoga. Man aboard, 2 down. Merrifield the batter and Presley the pitcher. To right field. And Kepler squeezes it to end the inning, and Presley makes quicker Merrifield, and we head to the 7th inning. Of the game.
Twins got it started first. A Mauer double and Eddie Rosario base hit. Plated the first run on the top of the first. It was 1-0 Twins, but the Royals would strike right back, a walk, and then a blast to right field by Salvador Perez, the all-star catcher for the Royals, made it 2-1. And Lucas Duda, with the bases loaded, slapped the base hit to left field to get the Royals to 3-1. That's where we are right now as we head to the top of the 7th.
Flynn's done a nice job through 2 innings. He's given up 1 hit and 1 walk, kept the score 3-1, and he'll face at least Jake Cave to start the 7th. Cave offered at it, strike 1.
Talking about Joe Mauer and any hitter being better at the more still you can keep your head. Same thing goes when you're trying to bunt for a base hit in particular. You can't be moving and bunting. It's too hard.
2 strikes to Cave, who's already struck out twice tonight.
Guys think that they beat the throw to first by getting out of the box as they're bunting, and the reason they beat the throw to first is because they wait and make a really good bunt and then run.
Close pitch, 1-2. Jason Adam, one of 6 right-handed relievers for the Royals. Swing and a miss. Inside fastball, 1 away. And that'll bring up Wilson. Flynn's gone through the Twins batting order, has 3 strikeouts, given up 1 walk and 1 hit, gotten 7 outs.
He stayed right on the inside corner for the most part with Jake Cave and get him. Most of the time you see left-handers attacking left-hand hitters away, but he was right in under his hands with all those pitches.
Down and away, ball 1 to Wilson. Expect Mitch Garver to catch the series finale tomorrow afternoon. The Twins go to Toronto to play 3 games. Two and 0. Indians have a 6-0 lead over the Rangers in the 5th inning in Arlington. Foul back. Two and one. Back talking with Bobby today and summarized his thoughts. He said he was brought up and taught to be a good catcher. You need to call it, catch it, and throw it. Everything behind the plate. What you do at the plate is important, but not as important as doing the other 3 things, and he's done that very well.
You bet he has.
Strike 3 at the knees. 2 down. Wilson has some parting words for Jim Reynolds. That'll bring up Mauer, who has 3 of the 5 Twins hits. Up there.
Yeah, I think I'm not exactly sure where Bobby thought it was. It was borderline low. It had a lot of the plate.
Mauer with a double and a run scored in the first. A pair of singles have followed. They've all been well hit. And a strike. Sharply hit. Great stoppage short by Escobar. From his knees, he throws him out. Another bullet off the bat of Mauer. And Escobar made a great play. And the Twins go down 1-2-3.
As good a play as you'll see by a shortstop. Authority of the Minnesota Twins and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of Minnesota Twins, LLC.
That's the voice of Roy Smalley. We've got Marnie Gellner here, Dick Bramer here as well, as the Twins hope to win this series. They got some work to do here late, down 3-1, and Ryan Presley, who got the last out of the 6th on 1 pitch, will face Bonifacio. Taken low, ball 1. Bonifacio has struck out and walked twice. And now 2-0. he misfires again. Moustakas on deck. And a strike, 3-1. So he's had a pretty good run of games here over the last month or so as well. Just a couple of runs allowed. And he missed outside in the leadoff walk. The third leadoff walk issued by Twins pitching here tonight. And that'll bring up Moustakas. Lance Lynn in his 5 innings walked 6 to take over the league lead in walks allowed with 61. Duke had we got 2 outs out of the 3 outs of the 6th inning, and now a leadoff walk here in the 7th, and Moustakas bounces it through the hole to right. Bonifacio will hold up at second base. First and second, nobody out for Salvador Perez.
Moustakas, you can see him hook that ball. He went up there looking fastball and looking to hit it to his pull field. Got around that ball and got the big end of the bat on it. Just didn't get it airborne.
In the end last night, it was the 2 runs that the Royals got in the 7th inning that decided the game. Twins lost a 1-run ball game last night. So Presley to try to pitch out of this and keep the Twins within 2.
Perez sitting dead on the fastball. Be careful here.
Breaking ball skied to short center, and Cave
doesn't
can't
see
find
it. He doesn't see it.
And Kepler has to come in and make the catch. 6 o'clock start time, 6:15, and so this is the twilight time, and it is very difficult for outfielders. And Kepler alertly scampered in front of the center fielder. 1 down.
Kepler just saying, way to talk out there, way to let me know. And Cave did it early on. As soon as the ball went up, he gave the universal signal for I have no idea where that ball is. And Max Kepler, looking at him, alertly found it, ran over, and made the play. So good first pitch by Presley there. Breaking ball in a good spot to Perez, who was looking fastball, and popped up the breaking ball. And good play by Kepler.
Duda takes a breaking ball and a strike. And for more on the Twins outfield, let's go to Marty Gellner.
Well, Max Kepler had to make that catch right there when Jake Cave lost the ball. I was talking to Kepler about the catch he made last night against the wall, that catch against Rosel Herrera, and Kepler told me he lost it in the twilight momentarily before he found it again. That catch was in the 4th inning. We're in the 7th inning here, but a 7 o'clock start time yesterday, 6 o'clock today. It's probably exactly the same time of day. And Kepler said he panicked for just a second, but he found the ball fast enough to be able to make the catch. Must be something about this ballpark and this time of day makes it a little difficult to see that baseball out there.
Front runner goes, and Duda fouls it back. Thank you, Marty. Yeah, this is the time of night in a lot of ballparks, and we've seen it occasionally at Target Field, though, too. We've had some issues, and the great thing about this ballpark, in about a half an hour, it'll be pitch black. The ball will go into the sky as if it's glowing in the dark because there's no light pollution around this ballpark. We're out
in the country,
east of downtown Kansas City.
It is a very, very tough sky right now. There's no question about it. Ball goes up there and disappears, much like the old Metrodome roof.
This to left, and Rosario with the catch, and that's out number 2. And a quick throw back, and Bonifacio had to hustle. 2 down. Well, the Royals had Hall of Fame manager Whitey Herzog help present the lineup card today, and I haven't had a chance to visit with Mr. Herzog, but if I do, I would ask him what he thought of the Metrodome. And he would not have very complimentary things to say for a lot of reasons, but one of them was the ceiling. And it's always amazed me, Roy, and you were part of the '87 World Championship team, but in the All-Star game that was played there and all the playoff and World Series games, it's just amazing that there wasn't more of misplays made because of the acoustics, the roof, whatever, and how tainted it all would have been in '87 and again in '91 if Ron Gant had lost a fly ball in the roof in the '91 World Series. And I just feel really fortunate that something like that didn't happen in those postseason games. 1-0. Check swing. Yes, a swing, 1-1.
On the other hand, and I agree with you. I 100% agree with you. On the other hand, every ballpark has its quirks, and it's just that the Metrodome was, let's say, a little quirkier.
Well, it created its own unnatural quirks. 1-1 to Dozier. Barehanded by Presley. He recovers and throws up the line. Mauer with the tag. Presley put the paw out, knocked it down, appears to be okay, and made a throw to Mauer at first to end the inning.
Two really nice plays here. Not the smartest of plays by a pitcher to do with a bare hand, but he makes a nice play, and so does Joe.
The more unlikely team stories, and I think the sense is that, you know, the Mariners are scuffling along just a little bit. You know, they've had to put Paxton on the disabled list, King Felix on the disabled list. Jason Adam comes into the ballgame to pitch to the Twins in the 8th inning. Adam briefly a property of the Twins. Twins traded Josh Willingham here late in the season a few years ago, and Twins ended up getting Adam, but he had arm trouble and missed all of 2015 and 16. One strike to Rosario. One and one. You look at the wild card, and everything wild card related is really out of reach for the Twins. But the Yankees are there 4.5 games behind the Red Sox in their division. Seattle, Oakland 4 games behind Seattle. 1 and 1. Now 2-1. Need to build an inning here.
Yeah, this is the inning they want to do it too. They've got really the heart of their good hitters up, starting with Eddie Rosario. This is the inning they want to start. They want to put some heat on the pitcher.
Swing and a miss, 2-2.
You see that swing by Eddie Rosario. He has a tendency to get a little bit long every once in a while. It looks like he's thinking home run to right field, and he opens up more quickly. You see that swing is a little bit longer. Those are balls that when he's hot, he crushes. And when he's not crushing them, when he's swinging, missing, or fouling those pitches back, there's just a very, almost imperceptible, but just a little bit of a lag in the big end of his bat that comes from him leaking to right field with his lower body just a little bit.
2-2 to Rosario. Twins have had the leadoff man only once. That was back in the first inning. Got poked foul.
You see right there, for him to have that kind of swing, his front hip was gone, and all he had left were those fast hands. And fortunately for Eddie, he has the ability to keep his hands back almost on all swings. But that was a little discombobulated. You could tell his lower body and his hands aren't in rhythm right now.
Foul back again.
Rudy Hernandez, one of the hitting coaches for the Twins, talks with Rosario about that all the time. It was that way early in the season for Eddie, and Rudy had to kind of have a little session with him. He said, "That's not you. You're all over the field. Just use your hands."
How's that?
Much
a good
better.
swing?
Yeah, much better. That was. And the difference was you could see in the quickness of the bat through the zone there, where he you know, people talk about, I hear this term all the time, he opened up quickly, and that's the wrong term. You don't open up quickly, you open up on time. See right there, there's totally different there. It's much more in sync with his lower body and his hands than able to be quicker.
So the leadoff man is on for the first time since the first inning, and Brian Dozier at the plate. Brian going to come back to the mound, a double play in the first. Since then, a couple of strikeouts. And 0 for 7 in this series, and has yet to get a ball out of the infield. Behind Gene Glenn, 1 strike.
That old adage about opening up quickly. You open up quickly on it, because you have to on inside pitches. But it really is just a question of opening up on time. You have to see the ball before you open.
Check swing. 1-1. Twins need a jolt here. They scored right away on the first 4 pitches. They had a double and a single and a run on the board, and they haven't done much of anything since. 1-1. And a balk is called.
Yeah, good call by Eddie Rosario. He saw it before the umpire did, or at least pointed and called before the umpire called it. Little swing. Yep. See, Eddie had a little bit of a flinch with his knees, and Eddie pointed it out right away.
Well, now he's at second. 1-1 to Dozier. Breaking ball, 2-1. It was Dozier who helped create the balk last Sunday against the Rays at Target Field. That helped the Twins win. It also helped the benches clear a couple of times, as it turned out.
Well, the Rays didn't have a leg to stand on in that deal.
Breaking ball missing inside, and it's 3-1 with Escobar on deck. We'll see what Adam gives Dozier here.
Well, I don't know what he's going to throw him, but Brian's going to be looking for a fastball from the middle of the plate into the inside corner, and he's going to be looking at what a charging one.
Pop straight up into the air. And Escobar waits a long time, one away. And that'll bring up Eduardo Escobar. Looks like he got a pitch that he wanted. Sent it straight up in the air. Cal Eldred, longtime major league pitcher, principally for the Brewers, the new pitching coach replacing Dave Island. 7th, 8th, and 9th innings this year, the opponents have outscored the Royals nearly 2-1. And that was the case in the ball game last night. Escobar with a walk, a strikeout, and a flyout. Taken low, ball one. Found the way. I think I asked you last night. We detailed what you were traded. What, 4 times? 5 times? 4 times. Were you traded within a few days of the trading deadline at all? Any of those times?
No.
Okay.
I shouldn't say that. I was from the Yankees to the White Sox, but I had requested that trade. It wasn't because they were trying to get something in before the deadline. They were just trying to trade me because I had asked for it.
1-1 to Escobar. Sharply hit into right field, a base hit. Rosario will round third. The Twins are within 1 at 3-2. Big pick me up for Escobar.
You bet. Nice at bat right there.
An RBI single, and it's a 3-2 game, and that'll bring up Polanco.
Talked about Eduardo Escobar's ability not only to get extra base hits, but also to have good at bats to drive in big runs while he's hitting fourth. And another example. Big base hit right there. Had to get at least that run in. Not only is that run in now, but it also keeps inning going, as they say down there in the dugout, keeps the line moving.
And unless or until Jorge Polanco improves from the right side of the plate, he'll face a lot of this. With the game on the line, the lead on the line, the Royals bring in their other left-handed reliever, Tim Hill. Twins trying to claw back, 3-2 now. Top of the 8th inning. Couple of singles, a balk have led to a Twins run. Royals have 2 left-handers. They've already seen Flynn, and now Tim Hill. The other lefty will come in to turn Polanco into a right-handed batter.
Numbers not great for Tim Hill. You see the plenty batting average, ERA, 1.5, way too many walks and hits to innings pitched to be effective out of the bullpen. But you also see what we're seeing more and more now is left-handed, sidewinding left-handers. Watch his delivery.
Down and away, ball one. So didn't have many of those back when you played?
Not from the left side. Not too many. We had one from the right side that was pretty good in this ballpark.
Mr. Quisenberry.
Mr. Quisenberry.
Strike called. Twins have a righty and a lefty going.
Taylor Rogers and Trevor Hildenberger.
To second. 1 and 2. A double play. Polanco ends the inning with a ground ball double play. The Twins get one back in the 8th. At least the Twins hope he will in the 9th inning. Down a run. Taylor Rogers' job now is to keep this a 3-2 ball game. And down and away, ball one. Rogers facing Gordon, then Herrera and Escobar. Check to swing. And it's 2-0.
Taylor Rogers wondering where those pitches are. They're showing just outside the box that we show on these broadcasts, but Taylor's thinking the ball went across the plate. Clip the corner first.
There's the outside corner. A wave and a miss. 2-2. Gordon with one of the 5 Kansas City hits didn't result in any scoring. He had a leadoff single in the 4th. 2 of the runs scoring on a first inning home run by Salvador Perez, second start in a row where he's hit a first inning multi-run home run against Lance Lynn. The Royals added another one with 3 walks and a single in the 3rd. 3-2. Twins have already issued 3 leadoff walks in this game. Gordon is aboard to start the 8th.
That's right. That will make the manager crazy right there. You bring in a left-hander primarily to fix this first left-hander, and then walk him to lead off the inning.
Outside, outside, corner, down and away.
Yeah, trying to stay away, and I understand. I sure understand that plan. But you don't want to walk the leadoff hitter in a close game in the 8th.
Royals have tried a couple of hit and runs here. They've had Herrera at least threaten to bunt. Escobar's in on the grass at third base. Down and in. Nice catch by Wilson. Ball 1. One and 0 to Herrera. They give him the green light to swing away, and he nearly doubled down the line. 1-1. Token throw to first. 10-0 Cleveland's winning big in Arlington. Game's in the 7th inning. As we showed you before, the Twins will not get to the playoffs this year as a wild card team. The way it looks, they're going to have to somehow find a way to catch and pass Cleveland. Squaring and strike 2. 1-2. Escobar, by the time Wilson caught the pitch, he was about 40 feet from home plate. And now Escobar retreats about even with the bag at third base and backpedaling as we speak. 1-2. Inside, they hit him 2-2. That time Gordon looked like he was heading towards second base, and then Rogers just hesitated a little bit, and he had to drop anchor, and then he couldn't start up again.
Yeah, he had a little flinch towards second, didn't he? That's for sure.
I don't know, maybe Gordon's thinking that Rogers somehow committed a balk. 2-2. Check swing. No swing, and now Rogers, who walked Gordon on a 3-2 pitch, has a 3-2 count to Herrera. 11 pitches thrown for Rogers, only 4 strikes.
And I kind of think that if he doesn't get Herrera, we're going to see Trevor Hildenberger, and might anyway, even if he does get Herrera.
Lance Lynn walked 6. Ryan Presley walked 1, and now Rogers has walked 1. Ninth walk of the night. The Royals have only 5 hits. And walks to the first 2 batters in the 8th inning. And here comes Paul Molitor, and he will make a pitching change. Close to the corner, up and away, but the target was down low. Rogers has a frustrating outing. Unable to throw strikes, walking 2 men on 3-2 pitches. And the Royals have a threat here in the 8th with Escobar facing Trevor Hildenberger. To within one in the top half of this inning, but now a couple of walks to start the bottom of the 8th. And Trevor Hildenberger will try to pitch out of it, facing Escobar, who in all likelihood will be asked to bunt. Escobar with a walk and a run scored in the 3rd. He drew a leadoff walk and eventually scored on Duda's single. Since then, a ground ball to 3rd and a liner to left.
And you're right. I think if Ned Yost is going to bunt Herrera with a runner on first, he'll most certainly bunt Escobar with 2 guys on.
Squaring and laying down a good bunt. Escobar will fire to first. Mauer there, and the sacrifice is executed on the first pitch. And that sets up Merrifield with 2 men in scoring position. And of course, that was one of the frustrations in the Herrera at bat. Early on, he wanted to give the Twins an out and ended up at first base with a walk. And now Merrifield. Twins will have the infield in here. Gordon runs pretty well. He's the runner at 3rd. Herrera runs very well. He's the runner at 2nd. Hildenberger goes to the back slope of the mound to clean his spikes.
Hildenberger looking for a strikeout right here. He's got the ability to do it. This is a tough man to strike out.
Base hit left field. Gordon will score. Herrera will be held, and Rosario's throw. What a nice stop by Bobby Wilson. That was a tough throw by Rosario. The sacrifice executed on the first pitch, and Merrifield singling on the next pitch. And the Royals again lead by 2.
Started with a slider and just hung right in the middle of the plate.
And now Bonifacio. The Twins will play back now, hoping for a ground ball double play. Bonifacio with a long look at Mike Jerschley, third base coach.
I really think that the middle infielders ought to play shallow enough that if they can't get 2, they got to come to the plate.
Missing ball 1. In my batting practice chat with Ned Yost, he was bemoaning the fact that people don't squeeze anymore. Well, he's got a situation here where potentially he could do that. Escobar, the third baseman's back on the dirt. Outside 2-0. One hopper. Escobar comes home. High throw. Wilson puts the tag down. And that's out number 2 at the plate. Now the Royals may want to look at it, wondering whether Wilson blocked the plate without the ball, but I'm not sure what a catcher is supposed to do in trying to field the throw. They're going to see whether Wilson gave the runner Herrera a sliding lane. And they may have a case here. It's not going to be a popular reversal if it is in fact challenged.
I think the ball was there in enough time. Once you have the ball, then you can drop down and make the tag. See, he's catching the ball right there, and then he goes down to block the plate. I don't think they have a case there.
They're not challenging. 2 down. Runners at first and second, and now Moustakas. A nice catch by Wilson, backhanded. 1-0. Well, this has not been a sharp outing for the bullpen, even though the Royals have just the 1 run this inning. A lot of first pitch balls. And in Rogers' case, a couple of walks here that have allowed the Royals to add yet another run. Out in front of that changeup. 1-1.
We said at the very beginning of the game that the key to the game on the mound would be to throw strikes to this Royals lineup, which is not scoring runs in huge bunches. They're offensively challenged a little bit, and you just can't give them extra chances. The Twins pitchers have walked 9 hitters. Tough to win that way.
High fly down the right field line. And if it's foul, it's a strike. That's the reverse, isn't it? Of if it's fair, it's a home run. If it's foul, it's just a strike.
It's just a strike.
1-2. Three of the 4 Kansas City runs were put on base by walks, directly or indirectly. Moustakas scored a run, but he reached in a fielder's choice after Bonifacio's walk in the first inning. 1-2. Popped up at second base, and Polanco drifts out and makes the catch. 2 walks to start the inning, and the Royals get the run back. It's a 2-run lead as we go to the 9th. Last night, going to the 9th inning, the Royals had a 4-run lead and the Twins scored 3. Tonight it's a 2-run lead and the Twins hope to score 3. And they've got the same guy starting the inning for the Royals. Willie Peralta really struggled last night and ended up unable to finish the 9th inning. And he'll face Kepler, Grossman, and Cave. Peralta gave up a leadoff double last night to Polanco. And there was a walk and a single and another walk. Pitches up, ball 1.
So right here, you're looking for a ball. You step in the box like it's 2-0 or 3-1. Guy has a tendency to throw a lot of balls. Look for your perfect pitch, kill it. If it's not there, take it.
Oh, ball hit to Escobar. 1 down. Duda with a stretch, but he was able to keep his right foot on the bag. 1 away. So in 2 pitches, Kepler is retired, and now Robbie Grossman.
Duda with that stretch. Escobar not used to throwing over to first from the right side of the infield.
Grossman 0 for 2 with a walk. Fastball and a strike. Royals still had the last of the trident relievers they had in Greg Holland, Wade Davis, and Kelvin Herrera. He was here at the start of the year and then was closing games for them and actually doing a good job when he was given the rare opportunity to save a game, and then they dealt him to the Nationals. And now 2-1 to Grossman.
The Royals in a situation where the front office understands they need players. They need young players up and down the system. They had to trade guys and just absolutely stock the system in hopes that the guys will step up.
Check swing and a strike, 2-2. Hack to the left side. Moustakas fires across, and now they're saying that Duda kept his right foot on the bag again. And Jeff Smith pretty much unanimated, as if he saw Duda's foot on the bag, but we'll see. Twins have nothing to lose here.
Yeah, it looked like he was on there to me.
The old Ken Herbeck couch potato play from the '87 playoffs. Gaetti to Herbeck. No challenge, 2 down. The Twins are down to their last out, and Jake Cave, who walked against Peralta last night, is their last hope. Cave tonight 0 for 3, 3 strikeouts. Foul, 1 strike. As rocky as Peralta's 9th inning was last night, he's gotten a couple of quick outs here tonight. Off speed pitch over for a strike. Inside. One and 2. Cave trying to keep the game alive for Adrianza, who's in the on deck circle. And Peralta gets the save, and for the first time since the end of May, the Kansas City Royals have won back-to-back games. Not much going offensively. Anthony LaPanta, the Twins had a 1-0 lead 4 pitches into the game, but didn't get much done at the plate after that.